welcome to the 7th video on the language of research. This video is second in series on the topic hypothesis. So let's learn about hypothesis more. As we have discussed in the earlier video, that hypothesis is a specific statement of prediction. We make a specific prediction as a researcher. We simultaneously come up with two types of hypothesis: null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. Normally whatever we want to predict becomes our alternative hypothesis. Let's say A is related to B or A leads to B, that is our prediction. Then null hypothesis is whatever is remaining, that is A does not lead to B, right? So let's talk about tails in hypothesis. They are not animal tails, but tails have very significance, has its significance in the life of an animal. But don't ask me that what is the significance of a tadpole's tail. It merely exists to disappear one day. Fine, let's get back to our business. What are tails in hypothesis? The one tail test, if your hypothesis specifies a particular direction. Now the null hypothesis, in your hypothesis, if you are saying that something would lead to increase or decrease, I mean changing the status quo with a specific direction. Let's say when I am saying, let's say the government of a country believes that the measures, the financial measures will improve the economy, or it would be right. So maybe this is going to help. This will boost employment. Boosting employment is something. Boosting employment. So there is definitely a direction to it. Like there is an unemployment rate right now, and it is not going to worsen. Government says that by doing some kind of measure, economic measure, it is going to boost employment. So boosting employment is one direction. So when you have to, let's say, talk this thing, when you have to translate it into a hypothesis, your null hypothesis would be two conditions: that either there would be no difference, like unemployment rate would remain as such the same, or there could be even increase in that, right, on the contrary. So all these things would be on the one side, and what is remaining on the other side is your alternative hypothesis. So remember these arrows. This arrow is pointing towards this side, and this is the opposite of it, right? So let's try to look into a specific example. Here is a company which is believing that a new employee training program will significantly decrease the employee absenteeism. So maybe employees are not reporting to the workplace. I mean, this is very common problem in let's say in an organization XYZ, and they came up with this thing like let's introduce the training program and let's see that the employee absenteeism decreases significantly. So this is going to be your alternative hypothesis. As you can see, significant decrease in employee absenteeism. So training program is one. This is your intervention. This is your intervention, and this is leading to this significant decrease in employee absenteeism. What is here? What would be null hypothesis then? Then it would be either there would be no significant difference in employee absenteeism. Let's say the absenteeism rate, you have some particular rate XYZ, it would remain as such the same, or there would be a significant increase. Only this is the possibility. So you talk holistically. right? So this is where the researcher says that training program has a significant effect in bringing down the employee absenteeism, right? Or maybe let's say you have some other company has some other training program, curbing in attrition could be a problem. So maybe a training program will bring down attrition, and the alternative and the null hypothesis for the same would be that there would be no significant difference in the attrition, or it may even worsen the attrition, or there would be a significant increase. So this is, you could see this thing as through this exhibit, as you could see, the we are interested in the left side of the, we want absenteeism rate to come down, not move up. So as you could see, 0, from 0 you have defined it in one direction. So whatever is remaining from here on this is the territory of null hypothesis. So this is what your H0, okay, we describe it as H0, and this is your territory of HA, alternative hypothesis. Okay, so this is where now moving to two-tail test. If your hypothesis does not specify a direction, so specifying a direction means one tail, and does not specifying a direction means two tail. So what does it mean? Does not having to, I mean the possibility of, so you just stick to this thing, right? So let me use the exhibit as you could see here, two tails. If you are interested in status quo and you say well, there is a drug which could have an impact on depression, but clinical trials are still trials are still going on, and you cannot say it with surety that whether it is going to reduce depression or increase depression. You are not sure. So better that you should say that make it, there could be no change, or there could be, and the depression goes down, or it worsens. So let's say, so you have two tails. Let's look at this. The null hypothesis for a study, let's say a drug is being discovered, or let's say trials are going on, as a result of 300 milligram per day of the ABC drug, there will be no significant difference in depression. Now there will be no significant, as can you see this? It is not saying increase or decrease here. It is simply saying there would be no significant there will be no significant difference in depression, and as a result of 300 milligram per day of the ABC drug, there will be significant difference in depression. Remember this word, significant difference. It is not saying in any of the part it will significantly increase or decrease. Remember this. You have seen increase or decrease in one tail test. In two tail test you will never find this. You will never find this. You will simply say there would be difference or there would be no difference. So there will be no significant difference in depression. Let's see the middle line, no change. And there would be difference means either it would make the disease severe, depression would rise as an effect of it, or it could come down. So that is the way of putting it across. So this is about two-tailed test. So reflecting what we have covered in this video, we discussed about direction in hypothesis. A hypothesis is a specific statement, and because it is a specific statement, it also translates into specifying a direction, right? So, and where that direction will be find out, you could find out the direction in one tail test. So either increase or decrease, and you always test your hypothesis, alternative hypothesis, with respect to null hypothesis. So if you mention something like increase or decrease in your alternative hypothesis with respect to null hypothesis, it is one tail test. Whereas if you simply write your hypothesis like there would be no significant difference or there would be no significant change versus there would be significant change. Now remember the word significant change, difference, etc. You are not using any kind of the adjectives of degree like increase or decrease and all. And remember, the two simultaneous hypothesis is basically, again, it's all about covering the thing in entirety, exhaustiveness and mutual exclusivity. The hypothesis must be tested, accepting one while rejecting the other. This I have already discussed in last video as well. So that is all for in this video, and we'll explore more as we move forward in this course. Hypothesis is very important topic, so I don't think that this will suffice. We will have more insights into it, but wait for a while as we progress in this course. Thank you very much, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe.